Hello everyone, I'm Rashmi Mangla. I'm working as an assistant professor for the BBA department of St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management. The subject that I'll be teaching today is Human Resource Management. This is our 20th lecture of Unit 4 that we were doing. The topics that we'll be covering today are statutory provisions for health, employee safety, importance of employee safety, and statutory provisions for safety. Now, in our previous lecture, we had covered the concept of employee health. Now, we have, certain provisions have been enacted under the Factories Act 1948, through which the workers, welfare and the health of the workers, it is promoted. So, it has been given under section 11 to 20 of the Act. Let's see those sections one by one in detail. Section 11. This section basically specifies the issues of cleanliness at the workplace. At the workplace, the place should be clean, the environment should be good, there should be no dirt accumulated, the drainage should be proper, and the dust removal or the garbage removal, it should be done on daily basis, and the entire area should be kept neat and clean. So this is what this section tells us. Then section 12. This section specifies on disposal of waste and effluents. Now, whenever we have factories set up, we have manufacturing process going on. So a lot of waste is generated. So each and every factory, it should make effective arrangements for the treatment of waste and effluents which have been generated due to the manufacturing processes that are being carried on. Then section 13. This section focuses on ventilation and temperature maintenance at workplace. See, in the factory, proper maintenance of the temperature should be done. That is, proper ventilation should be there. It should not be there that it is very humid. It should not be there that the place is not worthy for employees to work. So proper ventilation should be there and circulation of fresh air should be there. Then section 14. This section deals on the proper exhaustion of dust and fume in the factory. Now, in this, it is mentioned that the factory, which deals on manufacturing process, it should take care of the proper exhaustion of dust, fume, and whatever impurities are there, they should be properly exhausted from the origin point. Then, section 15. This section specifies regarding the artificial humidification in factories. Now, in artificial humidification, basically, what is done? In this, the humidity level of air in factories are artificially increased as per the provision prescribed by the state government. Whatever provision state government tells, by that provision the humidity is increased. Then section 16. Now, in this it is mentioned that no room in the factory shall be overcrowded. So basically here overcrowding is considered as the important issue and that is taken into account. See, in the factory, no room shall be overcrowded to an extent that can be injurious to the health of the workers employed therein. For example, there is a room where only maximum 10 or 20 workers can work. If you make everyone sit in a very clingy way and you are making 40 workers work there, neither they'll be able to work properly. Secondly, there might be chances of accidents that might happen. There might be chances of workers getting injured. So we need to have such kind of working place where the place is not overcrowded. Then section 18. This section specifies regarding arrangements for sufficient and pure drinking water for the workers. Now, proper drinking water supply should be there, arrangement should be good, and the water that is being supplied, it should be pure enough. It should not be any it should not be very dirty water, or there should be proper water coolers for them. And not only that, the drinking water point which is fixed, it should not be within 6 meters range of any washing place, urinal, spittoon, or open drainage carrying effluents. And not only this, in addition to this, a factory where there are more than 250 workers provisions for cooling drinking water during hot temperature should be made. So proper cool water should be given to them. Then section 19. This section provides details relating to urinals and latrine construction at factories. Now it mentions that in every factory, there should be sufficient accommodation for urinals, which should be provided at conveniently situated places. So proper, restrooms should be made there, proper urinals, should be made there, and they should be, not only they should be made, they should be kept clean and maintained also. And there should be separate, restrooms for both male and female workers. The last one, section 20. This section specifies regarding proper arrangements of spittoons in the factory. Now it is mentioned, that in every factory there should be sufficient number of spittoons situated at convenient places and should be properly maintained and cleaned and kept in hygienic conditions. So these were the statutory provisions of health. Now we'll come to the next topic, which is employee safety. Now, see, safety of workers refers to the provision of a safe environment, safe equipment and safe procedures in the workplace in order to ensure workers' health and safety. While organizations certainly have a moral obligation to ensure the safety of workers, an unsafe workplace can also have serious legal and financial consequences for employers. See, if providing, safe working condition, if it is a moral obligation, then in the same way, if the workplace is unsafe, then it can have legal consequences for the employer, that anybody can legally sue them if in case they they incur any accident. So safety of workers, it is very must for any of the working organizations. Now, workplace safety, it can be achieved by how? By providing workers with safety training instruction, by providing the workers with personal protective equipments, and creating a safe work environment, safe equipment, safe procedures that limit any threats to the worker health and safety. Then let's see the importance of employee safety. See, as we studied, employee safety is very important. Now all the industries do have safety risk, but the manager should devote their time to think and strategize the things that what safety precautions are required in their company to make sure that their workers are safe enough for all the time. So here are a few importance of safety of employee safety given. First one is reducing injuries reduces cost to your business. See, if a worker is injured, it will cost the company in lost working hours, increased insurance rates, workers' compensation premium, and maybe possible litigation also. So productivity is lost when other workers have to stop work to deal with the injury. So productivity gets lost if they have to stop the work. Now even after the injured employee has been sent home or taken to the hospital, अगर injured employee को घर भी ले जाया गया, then other employees may be distracted or need to take time off from work in the aftermath of the incident. So whenever an incident happens, it's not only the one who is hurt, but the others also, they also get affected. So if we can reduce the injuries, the cost of the business can be reduced. Then safe workers and loyal workers. See, any business knows that employee attrition and absenteeism can be major obstacles. See, if your employees are, they are against you, or if they don't like to come to work, they are absent a lot of times. So it can be major obstacle for the firm only. So when we create a safe and healthy working place, so those kind of issues, they get reduced in many of the ways. Then safety programs create productive work environments. See, properly managed safety programs show commitment to safety by the management, in turn creating a great safety culture where everyone wants to be safe. So, whenever we have safety programs, they create productive work environments. If you feel that the organization where you are working, proper safety measures are taken for you, so you get motivated, you get positivity in yourself, and you work more productively. Then absenteeism drops when effective safety programs are introduced. Now we all know that we, as an individual also, we will also like to work in a safe environment. So similarly, workers want to work in a safe environment. Now when effective safety programs are introduced. So then absenteeism gets reduced. Then employee insurance claims decrease in safe work environments. Now, workmen compensation insurance claims decrease in lower WCB rates. This is a benefit any company that has to pre-qualify to work a low rate gives you a better grade with your clients. Now see, whenever we have a lower rate, it gives us a better grade with the clients. We get in better touch. So employee insurance claims decrease in safe work environments. Then let's see the next one, the statutory provisions for safety. Now again, as we had the provisions for health, similarly Factories Act 1948 also provides provisions relating to safety measures for workers who are employed there. Now this is to ensure safety of workers who are working on around the machines. So let's see them. They are given under the following sections. First one is section 17. Now under section 17 it has been described that there should be proper management of lighting in factories. The proper lighting management should be proper in every part of the factory, where workers are working, or even if they are not working, maybe they are just passing. It should be well equipped with the lighting management, either by natural sources or by artificial sources. Then section 21. This section specifies that fencing of machinery is necessary. Now when we fence the machinery, it is necessary to do so. That any moving part of the machinery or machine is dangerous in kind and should be properly fenced. So wherever machine has been installed, proper fencing should be done there. Then section 23. This section prescribes that employment of young person on dangerous machinery is not allowed. See, whenever it's like there is a machinery on which working is a lot of danger, or maybe it requires a lot of skills, then section 23 tells us that we should not employ any young person on such kind of dangerous machines. Then section 24. This section provides provision of striking gear and devices for cutting off power in case of emergency. Every factory should have special devices for cutting off power in emergencies from running machineries. So what we have is suitable striking gear appliances should be provided and maintained for moving belts. So proper striking gear and devices should be cut off. Then section 28. This section prohibits working of women and children on specific machinery. It stops that on this machine the women or children, they cannot work. Maybe that machine is too tough to handle. Then section 32. In this section it has been specified that all floors, stairs, passages and gangways should be properly constructed and maintained so that there are no chances of slips or fail. Then this specifies, and not only that, but before we complete this, see, basically all the floors, all the passages, they should be properly constructed so that we don't meet any accidents, neither our employees meet any accident. Then section 35. This section provides specification regarding safety and protection of eyes of workers. See, for example, it mentions that factories provide specific goggles or screens to the workers who are involved in manufacturing work that many cause them injury in eyes. Now see, basically what happens is whenever the employees are working, so there might be some manufacturing process which has a direct impact on the eye. So in order to avoid this section has been mentioned. Then section 16. As per this section, it is provided that no worker shall be forced to enter any chamber, to tank, or pipe, flue or other confined space in any factory in which any gas, vapor or dust is likely to be present. Now, in this one, it basically focuses that we cannot force any worker so that they enter into any tank or any chamber or any pipe or any confined space wherein we can give any wages. Alright? So that should be avoided. In section 38, as per this section, there should be proper precautionary measures. The precautionary measures should be proper built on fire. There should be safe mean to escape in case of fires, and also necessary equipment and facilities to extinguish the fire. Then section 45. Now this section specifies that in every factory, should be proper maintained and well equipped. First aid box, it should be there, or cupboard with the prescribed content for every 150 workers employed at one time. There shall not be less than there was some disconnection, children. I'll just go on with it again. See, section 45, it specifies that in every factory we should have proper and well maintained first aid box, or there should be proper cupboard wherein prescribed contents are there. And for every 150 workers employed at one time, if 150 workers are employed at a specific time, there should not be less than one first aid box in the factory. So for every 150 workers, there should be at least one first aid box. And also in case when we have more than 500 workers, there should be well maintained ambulance room of prescribed size and containing proper facilities. So these were all the statutory provisions for safety. Let's see some of the questions based on today's concept. What do you understand by employee safety? Explain its importance. What are the statutory provisions available for employee health and employee safety as per the Factories Act 1948? Stay tuned for the last lecture of HRM. With that, our syllabus will be finished, and that will conduct in the next class. Thank you.